we're all deepening, no matter where we are. Our sense of presence, if you will. And when I talk about a sense of presence, it used to confuse me when Eckhart did, because I thought, the presence of what, and it's really your own presence. It's the sense of your own presence which may be misinterpreted, which is fine, as that there's a unit and there's the divine. And that's true too. It just doesn't negate there being just the one thing. The relativity does not negate the absolute, nor vice versa. No, if you try, it just is, it works against you. What you can do is you're already doing it, obviously, whether you're keen on it or not, but there has to be the willingness to let down our guard, to drop our resistance. And who am I talking about? The sense of Fred and the sense of Deborah, and I don't know exactly how it works, but it will feel like somebody is dropping their guard, dropping their resistance, and surrendering to something else. Although there's only the one thing, so but that when when the absolute is surrendering to relativity, it will feel exactly the opposite way. So once again, the backward teaching comes into play, is because it will feel like a unit who is surrendering to the divine. But there's no such thing as the unit plus the divine. There's only the divine that's sometimes misrecognized, misidentified. But there is a recovery from addiction, and there's there's recovery from the addiction of believing that you're a separate human being too. We think it's either one, that we feel one way or we feel the other, but we can feel one way 1 minute and another way another, but it's still the recovery from the belief of that I was a separate thing. And because that's all that's stopping us, and there's no separate thing. But most of us believe there is at some time or another, because an event will pull that precious divine attention away from the the divine attention, and it will suddenly feel like I'm a Fred, and the first thing Fred's going to notice is that this ain't right. Instead of the great okayness, there's the great what the hell is this, right? The great why is this not some other way? Why is it not the way that I want? And that's just really it's divine hypnosis, where it's just the divine is hypnotizing itself. It's divine self-hypnosis with a capital S. Into just feeling like that there's more than one thing going on, that there's me plus, and there's no such thing as me plus or me minus. There's me only, and I can't even find the me. Yes, the body is doing what it's doing, but it's not doing so because of my designs or my instructions or my orders. The body doesn't actually need our approval or our permission. It just does what it does. And what we do in turn is we just come to see that the mental attitude of the body does what it does, and I allow that. That's a mental process. But this is so tricky because it's so paradoxical, because there's only the divine, but there seems to be a Fred. But in truth, there's the divine playing out as Fred. And that is really confusing even for the divine, because and that's not a mistake. If there wasn't the belief in separation and relativity, the divine would not be able to experience itself objectively. I would not know myself as tree or waterfall or as satsang or anything else. And that saturation of capital S self-absorption into itself, really. And the attention, paying attention to attention, staying there. That's the purest meditation. And it's not our attention. We don't have attention. Attention has us. That's the truth. It's the divine attention, the one attention. And the one attention can only be noticed by the one intention, the one attention. So, and that's another part of the tricky part. It's another part of the experienced bifurcation. What we and the sense of surrender when our heart's in the right place and we're not going, oh God, I've got to, when we're just, oh God, or oh, in the living room this morning, I was just sitting there and there was just sitting. I wasn't really in there. I wasn't, the body was. I wasn't anywhere in particular. Thank you, love. I was everywhere in general, as usual. And there was no sense of a witness. There was witnessing, but there was no commentary on that. And there was no witness, no separate witness and witnessed over here, separation. It's just the witnessing, that's all there really is witnessing. Within, I mean, that's what relativity is for. It is for witnessing and for virtual experiencing.